Yeah, as far as I know, everybody's good to go. We just had a good walkthrough right there, and other than the guys that we talked about that were injured as a result of playing in the game the other night, we're pretty healthy. I think Bobby Evans will be smart with the bone bruise that we talked about, so he would be the only guy outside of the players that are going to require surgery that will be out today. We're building him back in, Gary. So he's done some stuff, to say that he's fully back in it. We're not at that point yet, but he worked out before the game. He's feeling good, and we anticipate him, resuming truly full participation at some point this week. But he's been a participant. It just hasn't been a full participant yet. I think we're, right now, we've been so busy, just kind of handling training camp, things like that. Those are two very important players to us as we move forward this season. And really, that's kind of all where we're at right now with that.
As you're working your way through, these next couple of days for the Texans and roster decisions, are you keeping an eye on the Panthers? I mean, is there something going on in that regard for preparation?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, Vinny, and then it's also focusing on, continuing to establish our identity, some of the things that we want to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And then we'll start to tailor and trim our focus towards the Panthers as we get closer and closer. But we're kind of still in the mode of, all right, let's really get good with the finer details. And then we have some different things on both sides of the football that I think we would anticipate utilizing against Carolina. But to say that we've, truly put ourselves in the game plan mode for them, that wouldn't be accurate yet. But there is a little bit of eyes looking towards them coming to a theater near you. He's done a great job. He certainly has made his presence felt. I think you feel what a physical football player he is, the instincts. Made a lot of good plays in the run game, and then he showed up the other night in some other opportunities that he had coverage-wise. So been really pleased with him. It's been good to just have him out there healthy and get a chance to compete, and you see some of the things that we like so much, and he's definitely making a case for himself. I thought it was his best. I thought he did a really nice job. I had a sack in our four-man rush where we're playing 3D behind that. I thought he was able to push the pocket consistently, played physical against the run. I thought both John Franklin and I thought Morgan Fox was outstanding. I think from the interior defensive line, those two guys, and then Tanzel Smart continued to show up consistently. But really, it was good to see John out there feeling healthy, feeling ready to go. And then I thought also that was Morgan Fox's best performance of the preseason as well. Yeah, you never like to see guys get injured, Jim. Like I said, there is a lot of merit to playing in these games where you're actually playing real football. You have the ability to play tackle football for quarterbacks to get rushed, for running backs to get tackled to the ground. But that was the decision that we felt like was best. You never want to see guys get injured, whether it be our team or anybody else. That's always one of the worst parts about it. But where we're at, we feel good. We're healthy. Unfortunately, we had some injuries that were sustained the other night in that action. But that's part of the game, and you always want to try to keep players as healthy as possible, especially going into week one. And for the most part, I think we're in a pretty good place. Yeah, it's really all of it. We use all the ways that we're trying to evaluate guys in those competitive situations to really try to project who are the best 53. And certainly there's some positions that I think you have a better chance to evaluate in the live action, but we try to do as good a job as we can creating those competitive scenarios, situations, but it is all part of the evaluation process. Even how they handle themselves in meetings and how they retain information, how they handle the above-the-neck walkthroughs, that's a big part of what we do. So everything that these guys are asked to do, they're being evaluated in that phase and really trying to carve out a role for themselves, whether it be establishing themselves as a starter, on offense or defense, or a starter in some of our, special teams phases. So it's all part of the process. And then I think it's a little bit easier depending upon the certain positions to say, all right, you can put a little bit more weight in one or the other, but it is all a collaboration of all those.
A guy like Trayvon Howard, is he a guy that can play safety as well as inside linebacker?
He's a guy that has the athleticism you would think, Vinny, just based on the way he moves around. But he's been exclusively a linebacker, playing at that inside spot. Some of the things that we ask those guys to do, when we get into our dime personnel defense, he's doing a lot of the things that we ask of some of our underneath defenders that are playing from a secondary position. But I thought he did a great job. We mentioned Dakota Allen, but you also recognized T. Howard a lot the other night. Pass to the flat, you could just feel him uncoil on that as playing the quarters as his own match 2 player. But he did a really nice job the other night, and that was one of the things that Les and his group and then our coaches liked so much about him was the athleticism, the speed, and the ability to go sideline to sideline. I think he's showing that, but haven't done that with him, but I would never say never, I guess. Okay? Thanks, guys.